There was no timer. Shit.
Yeah, no, that's only a YouTube feature.
Oh. I don't know anything about YouTube.
Now, worry not, you're not going to just have to sit here and listen to me. My name's Andy. I work on the social media team here at Bungie, but I've got some amazing colleagues here.
Andy, you're great, though.
The finer details of all the cool stuff we're going to be checking out today. So, to not waste any time and show you all what you came here to see, let's go ahead and introduce everyone so we can get to it. First things first, this gentleman to my left, a brand new addition to our show. If you've joined us before, you may recognize his face, or not recognize his face, rather. The one and only Mr. One and only Mr. Nico Stevens, narrative architect here at Bungie. Nico, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great. How are you doing, Andy?
Doing well, thank you.
He's kind of cute.
Okay, narrative.
First time joining us. For anyone that may not have followed you on social media, or maybe wondering what it is a narrative architect does, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
Sure. So I joined Bungie. I joined Bungie.
He joined Bungie.
Of Undying. My first talent of that, and I've been working on seasonal content from then up until now and doing the episode stuff.
Yeah.
And I've done a few annual releases here and there, did some Final Shape stuff. People might know my work from Presage or Warlord's Ruin or some of those.
Presage is like my
Oh, he did Presage, okay.
Presage and Warlord's Ruin, those are good.
All right, we can talk about that at another time, but thank you for being here, Nico. We appreciate it. Next to him, someone who's joined us in the past, actually. If you joined us for our episode Echoes stream, you probably recognize his face immediately. The one and only Ryan Harris, senior designer here at Bungie. Ryan, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going?
It's going well, man. Thank you very much.
He looks like
For anyone
me
that
in
maybe
college,
didn't join us,
like the way he
last Echoes
dresses.
stream, or is just seeing you for the first time, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are and what you do here?
For sure, yeah. So
Like,
I'm
look
a
at that.
senior designer here at Bungie.
Yeah.
I've been
I mean, you're not wrong.
Under. Folks may know my content that I've worked on from most recently the Battlegrounds.
He pulls it
Wonder,
off
okay.
better than I did,
Echoes,
but
and then before that,
Yeah.
Spire.
So he's been in the game as long as I have, essentially.
Savathun Spire, that was fun.
Yeah, well, thank you for being here, Ryan. We
Yeah.
appreciate it. And last but very not least, someone who needs no introduction, a friend to all Guardian kind, a voice of all of you.
Look at the
fine folks
Cubone tattoo.
Here in the studio, the young blood billionaire
It's
himself,
good to have him here
Billy
because his
Kastner.
car was broken in this morning.
I saw.
I feel bad.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Exclamation point period.
I love DMG so much.
To that same end, you are the global community lead here. Can you tell the folks at home that may not have accosted you on Blue Sky or anything like that, just a little bit about who you are and what it
Blue
is
Sky,
you do?
no Twitter mention.
We're listening. I'm that guy. Bread, hashtag meme. But ultimately, yeah, we on the community team, we make sure to field all your feedback, get our roadmap of comms together.
Bread,
for what's
hashtag
included,
meme.
How can we set expectations? What's all the cool stuff going on in Destiny in the game or outside of it too?
Yeah.
Speaking of outside of it, I want to do a quick shout out to Mactix. We have a Game to Give charity marathon going on right now. Actually, his time slot coincides with ours. So throughout this, we're going to be dropping links in chat to his charity page. So if you want to support
Hell
his
yeah.
help out the Bungie Foundation and all the people in need, yeah, hit up that link,
Nice.
check out the incentives, and donate some money if you can. If you can't, totally fine.
Yep.
Spread the
Love
word.
it.
And hey, do yourself a huge favor while you're out there. Give Mactix a follow.
Oh,
Builds. I know I do.
on the
I
table, that was the
all right, so that is enough about us. Let's talk about the cool things that you guys have been building. Obviously, we're about to go ahead and arrive at Act 1 of Heresy, but before we get there,
yeah, it's
Nico, I
the
wanted to ask you really
after
quickly,
season of the Seraph.
What got us to where we are
Yeah.
today, obviously. We're concluding episode
You
revenue
cut out.
a
You
lot
said
quicker.
it's the.
Can you catch anyone up?
Oh yeah, no, I didn't cut out. I just stopped talking.
The story of the Echoes, which the episodes encompass, has it was kicked off from the Final Shape. So at the end of the Final Shape, we kill the witness.
Spoilers.
Yeah, spoilers. Sorry.
Spoilers.
So we take out the witness, and from the witness and from the Pale Heart, we see all of these echoes
Witness
like
is
burst
dead.
out and start flying across Sol.
Yeah.
The first one that we encountered was in the hands of Maya Sundaresh. We dealt with her. She escaped. Second one we encountered was in the hands of Fikrul. We dealt with him. He did not escape. And then the third one that we are encountering is going to be here in the Dreadnought. And after it left the Pale Heart, a very specific dread that we're going to be seeing this episode gave chase to it. So we're going to be dealing with the Dread and the Taken and the Hive all revolving around this third echo.
Excellent. Very exciting. All right, so we have up on screen here in just a moment, I think, the key art
Dread,
for this
Taken,
next
Hive,
episode.
okay.
There's a lot going on here.
Yo!
Can you tell us just a little bit about what we're seeing here?
The eyes!
I think the first thing that's probably going to draw a lot of people's eye is
Holy
that ghostly
shit.
visage of Oryx peeking over the
Wait,
top.
Taken armor!
So Oryx is I'll just say.
Oh my
Oryx
God, that is Oryx up
full
there.
Capacity, right?
Holy shit.
And the Echo has a lot to do with that.
Mm. What?
So not only are the Guardians jumping through, trying to figure out what
Did
exactly
the
is
Echo
going on in this
revive
first time,
Oryx?
but they're dealing with this old foe.
Maybe the Echo
that
is
has been
Oryx.
dredged up from the bones of the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
And I don't want to reveal too much, but
no,
yeah, we're
that's
gonna be
all right,
we're gonna be clashing.
The Guardians will be there very soon. But so we're dealing obviously again with the Taken King again in some form. So we have some old foes returning.
Holy
but,
shit.
Before we go ahead and move on into gameplay,
I think the Echo is Oryx. I'm gonna call
we
it.
have some old
They said
allies
it's going to a
returning as well. So can you tell
specific
us about some of
dread.
the folks we're going to be working with this time around as well.
Yeah, so our main cast right now is Eris Morn, which is our resident witch hive expert. A lot of people know her
Eris
from
Morn,
Season
Goth
of the
Mommy.
Witch, aptly named, or even further back. Season of Arrivals is kind of like the first time that she jumped back into this new sort of saga story.
Yeah.
So we have Eris Morn. She is, as I said, our resident hive expert. We have the Drifter, her faithful companion, who's following alongside and helping us kind of pick apart what the Taken are doing here.
Yeah.
I think I said at some point before that he always has his finger in the
makes
weird
sense,
of the universe.
He certainly does.
And there's some weird going on here.
Excellent.
Oh, good.
and
Ooh,
then
woo,
finally,
finger in the
we
weird,
have
like
Deputy Commander
Eris.
Sloan.
Right.
And
Called
Sloan
it.
is our Titan representation here.
Oh.
People will remember her from Season of the Deep or even the Red
Okay.
Dwarf.
I
And she has been afflicted
straight up
with
called
this,
it.
like, Taken corruption.
You did, you
that we
did.
saw back in Season of the Deep. And she's learned how to sort of hold it back, but also utilize it to make her stronger.
Yeah.
Chat, Taken King?
So
Nah,
she is
Trans
going to
King.
be teaching us
Fuck yeah.
some of that.
Yeah, that's we're going beyond once again.
Yeah.
So it's safe to say. So we've obviously got a whole new cast of
splash
friends and
art.
enemies to go up against. But really quickly as well, something we were talking about a little bit earlier in the show is the player journey as well. It's something you guys are really excited about this time around. Can you tell us a little bit about how players are going to be experiencing some of these quests?
Yeah, so so players have been talking a lot about the structure of the player journey and how they'd kind of like to see it shaken up a bit, right? So this is going to be kind of one of our first steps into trying to make that happen in a more tangible way.
Cool.
So you will still notice some of those elements of like returning to a vendor or something like that. But you're also going to notice that we're doing a lot more bespoke, spread out delivery for these beats.
Cool.
You're going to find characters like in the midst of a mission sometimes.
Yeah.
There's some new tech that I don't want to spoil. I want players to see it in the
That's right,
game.
yeah.
But there's some new tech having to do with the way that we would holo project characters.
Yeah.
New
In that
tech?
sort of projection unit that you would find in the helm.
Yeah.
We're expanding that out so that it's
No more
a
holo
little bit more
projection?
versatile, and it is more cognizant of where players want to be and less about like having to return to this one spot and kind of loop through the helm over and over again.
Thank you. Well,
Okay.
thank you guys. Obviously, I'm sure our audience of Guardians who have let Dylan know and his compatriots loud and clear what we're looking for are happy to be hearing that. So that's exciting.
Let me go to the helm. Let me talk to this character. Let me go back to the helm. Let me talk to this character.
Is there a holo projector somewhere in there?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. All right. Well, really exciting. So as we kind of move into that player journey, we're going to be working on something called the Path of Resolve. Can you tell us just a little bit about what that is before we dive into the gameplay here in just a moment?
Yes.
Path of
so
Resolve.
there is
Yeah.
an event that happens at the beginning of the episode,
Exciting.
which people will see very, very soon after the launch.
Yeah.
And this sort of kicks off. I'm going to choose my words very carefully here.
Redacted.
Redacted, yes.
This redacted event sort of kicks off Sloane's motivation for teaching us about the Taken power that she has been holding back.
Yeah.
Oh.
And so that is the path of resolve here.
Okay.
She's going to be teaching us how to fight fire with fire. We're going to be going into the Dreadnought, taking some control of that Taken energy, taking some control of those old hive magics, and wielding them using our light and using
Interesting.
our paracausality, wielding that new power against our enemies.
Okay.
All right, we're going to be obviously keeping Sloan very busy.
Oh, yeah.
With that.
That is saying
Speaking
Taken
of, we actually have our
subclass. That-
requisite local fire team here in-house in the
I
activity as well.
would not mind that.
Ryan, this is the Nether. This is the new activity
The
that's going to
fact
be
that
arriving
Sloan's
with Act 1 of
teaching us
Episode
to
Heresy.
wield it
Can
is
you
the
tell us
word
a
to
little bit
use.
what
What?
this is for starters as we go ahead and kind of dive into it?
Yeah, so the Nether is a 3-player activity, and we are back on the Dreadnought's patrol zones. And we'll be exploring the Dreadnought, rooting out the
Taken
inside
audience
the dread
fragment.
corruption that are
Delicate
Redeemable,
too?
exotic.
taking hold inside the Dreadnought
Yeah,
itself.
remember
as we go
Delicate
through these
Tomb got
spaces.
bust.
Yeah,
The
but I
Nether
didn't think
itself
anyone would
is
still
a
be using
uniquely
it.
different type of activity. We're really
With
trying
Geomag,
to,
it's basically 50-50 if you want to
some
use
inspiration for this
it
activity
or
was
Cold
looking
Heart.
at Shattered Realm, the Coil, and of course the
Oh.
Dreadnought's patrol spaces. Of course, we are in the Dreadnought.
Yeah.
Oh my
and
god.
Yeah, so just for starters, what you're actually doing inside the Dreadnought is baseline. The patrol zones are randomized and varied. The encounters inside are varied and randomized as well. So time over time, when you launch into the activity, it's going to be a different starting bubble, different encounters, and different events and objectives for you to engage with and accomplish as you're exploring the Dreadnought itself.
I really like this.
What kind of like modifiers would you say players are going to go up against in here? Because surely they're not just going to go into the Dreadnought and get a warm welcome necessarily.
Yes. Yeah. So the Nether has some very unique modifications to it that we're experimenting with. So first off, players do not regenerate health.
You can put down a
to
water
compensate
bucket.
For that, we
Beds
are doing
explode.
something special where we're providing players with plus 300 bonus health.
Oh.
To their original HP
Okay.
values and plus 75 shield value.
Okay.
So alongside that, we really want to make your health regeneration or your health as like a resource.
I
as
love
you're
the
fighting
aesthetic
through
of the
this, as
weapons.
we are
Wait.
looking at this as a very
Wait,
rogue
they
tool
fired and it was a
experience, so we
healing
need
frame that
resources
wasn't
to
no
contend with to
hesitations.
make
Yeah.
it and hit that
They
goal.
mentioned that
I
they were
think that-
gonna. It's the
emphasis on
strand
there,
weapon.
Of course, because this
Yeah,
is
I
a very uniquely Destiny experience.
Yeah.
And we have a lot of things contributing that as well. So we do have ammo scarcity as well, so players won't be getting as much ammo, but there will be ways
Oh.
and avenues to get help.
But we
and
didn't
ammo
know what it would
in the
be yet.
activity,
Yeah.
as well as boons.
Willing
that will
Vessel is the
improve your power over time
origin
as you
trait.
engage with the activity.
Interesting. I wonder what
And
that.
that progressive sort of idea of
Runneth over.
power
Wait.
and, building up how strong you are as you're moving through the Nether, that roguelite experience. It's also reflective of that narrative of like building yourself up, pushing
Fragmentation
deeper into the Dreadnought.
grenade.
The Dreadnought is resisting you. It's trying to make sure you can't like move towards the Echo and figure out what's going on.
Yeah.
And this is you finding ways to like pierce the veil and move beyond their barrier.
Pierce the veil mentioned.
Challenges obviously warrant new strategies along the way as well.
Oh, I like
Okay,
that
so you're like
armor.
Ammo
half a
health
second
is
ahead
kind
of me.
Like a resource, so it's you're not seeing it drop off of enemies.
That
and
looks
stuff
like the
that, but there's
Gjallarhorn
find,
armor.
Like a resource and collect.
Oh wait, no, that's
Yeah, so we
Trials
have,
as the chest plate. I recognize the
destination
icon.
materials, we have urns and pots kind of placed around everywhere, and and also destination chests that players can find. And when you break these destructible pots, they'll explode. into, like,
Destination
a ring of
chest
health,
and materials for the
ammo,
Dreadnought.
Heavy ammo.
Yeah.
Sometimes boons.
Yeah.
Sometimes revive tokens. I forgot to mention we are using revive tokens here as a resource as well. So you
Okay.
really need to manage, but like there are avenues to get more revive tokens.
I mean, you could
There's
look at
more
the bottom right to
avenues
see
get
that.
help.
But fair.
Yeah.
So we really want players to explore. the
Regenerant.
Dreadnought and
Those are
encourage that
healing
exploration by
fucking
looking for
grim.
These urns, looking for the
Ooh.
chests, and like searching for those boons because
Dire
there's multiple
acolytes.
avenues and like ways for players to search out and
Dire War
Yeah,
Beast?
I mean, that resource scarcity
Those
is
were
really gonna make
taken
people
war
want to chase this
beasts.
down. I can imagine that health is a Cypher
What
Soul
the
Rise.
fuck?
absolutely.
To that end as well, actually, obviously you mentioned we're back at the Dreadnought, but I can't imagine it's the exact same one. Can you tell us a little bit about how the Dreadnought has changed?
Yeah, so since the Echo has hit the Dreadnought, a lot of the spaces have changed and like modified. A lot of the skin of the Dreadnought ship has like peeled back, revealing bone and chitin and showing off new secrets, new pathways. So you are in familiar spaces if you played the Dreadnought before, but there is a lot of new, interesting, unique pathways. Things have changed. Things have become abnormally different. Oh,
There goes our fire team.
And that's the last one. Mysteriously, as they arrived, they were gone.
And we've kind of, like, players who are wanting that
T-Bone!
aspect, right? We've kind of like separated
They are the
modes a
exact
little
same
bit.
as the players.
So people can go in and they can explore the Dreadnought, but people who are like looking to just bust through the activity and get loot, they have a different matchmade mode, right?
absolutely. So the Nether has currently 3 modes. So there's the Nether exploration for those solo type experiences.
Oh, looks like
that they can bring
anti-barrier
fun to it as well
auto.
if they'd like to. And this is more of like.
Or maybe he was
that
just
patrol
radiant for a
experience
second
that
because
you're
the
looking
strand
for,
weapon
and I wanna
had it.
explore
Oh,
my own
unraveling
way,
rounds.
at my
Never
own
mind.
pace. I want to look for secrets. I want to just engage.
That's
with
why
the
it was
space like
temporary.
a patrol space back in the day. It still is the Nether experience of where you're going from. You're playing through the 3 bubbles and there's escalating difficulty, but we do grant to you in that mode a multitude of revives. So you have a way larger pool of revives, so you can make mistakes.
Sure.
It's just for those players
Okay.
who want to like explore at their own whim, play at their own pace. And then additionally, there's also damage modifiers for those players when they're engaging with bosses as a solo player, so they can actually tackle those
Okay.
those hurdles as they come, and also some modifiers on like how many enemies are spawning, so they don't need to like get swarmed by every single enemy.
I couldn't tell if that was an arc area denial or if that was the void one.
And then additionally,
it
if
looked
you do
arc.
get lost, because this is we didn't want to overclutter the spaces with objectives, because there is a lot of things to do, and there's a lot of different things to do in every single bubble and location that you go to in the Dreadnought. If you do get lost, you just pop out in your ghost, and there'll be a bunch of star objective icons that'll like let you know where you should be looking and where you should be going for the next
Your drifter.
spot. Additionally, talking back to those different modes, we do have the match-made mode on advanced baseline difficulty, and then we do have expert as well.
Very cool. Okay, so plenty of challenges for the Guardians that want to
I think
undertake
Arc
those.
Warlock is going
Make
to
sure
be
they're pushing
fun.
not only themselves, but the opportunity
Oh,
to
yeah.
loot as far as they possibly can.
Absolutely. And on that loot note as well, every time you complete a bubble, there is a chest checkpoint, so you do get loot checkpoints essentially. And like the average runtime for like a bubble is 8 to 12 minutes, but you do get the most loot by completing the entire activity as a whole.
Got it.
But there are checkpoints for players who just want to jump in for like 8 to 12 minutes, hit that loot checkpoint, like okay, I'm out for now, or players who want to just like rush through it and get all the loot at every single end of every single bubble checkpoint.
Very cool. Okay.
Okay.
All right, and then also, I think in addition to
Watchful
the
Eye
modifiers
is the
about
name of the new machine
boon
gun.
system as
Okay.
well that I heard you mention a little bit earlier. I'd love to
It's gonna be
actually
interesting
kick
seeing
off
how
the
it compares
conversation
to Song
about
of Your
that.
Youth.
Maybe you saw the folks in chat that were eagle-eyed.
I like the way it
and
looks.
On the modifiers, may have seen something a little bit earlier before. But can you tell us a little bit about the boon system?
Yeah, so the boons here are, we have
Glacial
multiple
Wanderer.
boons. We have minor boons, major boons, and corrupted boons. So minor boons are minor stat increases that are pretty much just to increase your power and incrementally stack. They can stack up to 10, and they're just like the typical like increased light damage, increased darkness damage, movement speed on kills. Some are like based on health and regenerate health, and are typical like mobility increases, but like things that'll make you stronger over time and allow you to tackle the more difficult bubbles as you approach them.
Yeah.
And then additionally we have
Or Knight.
major boons.
Yeah.
Full
and then
chaos
from there,
reach to the
they're,
face.
They're like actually like more larger gameplay modifiers that actually affect your abilities and your actions.
Yeah.
And of course now we do have Eric.
That's right. Yes, actually. So anyone at home that may have noticed,
Oh,
our
shit.
good friend Nico, please give him a shout out in chat and let him know that you love him, has stepped out of the scene for just a moment, and we are now joined by gameplay feature lead Eric Smith. Eric, how's it going, man?
It's going well. How are you?
Is there any-
The
doing well,
fucking
thank you. You
hoodie.
guys are all so nice tonight. I'm so taken aback. For anyone that may not have seen you in the Vidocs or anything like that, can you tell us just a little bit about who you are, what you do here?
Guys are also
Bungie as
nice
gameplay
today.
feature lead?
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, sure.
Holy
thing.
shit.
So I'm Eric Smith, gameplay feature lead on Destiny.
Imagine going onto a
So I
live stream
create
and very
the
subtly
game's
calling Drake a
abilities, kind of anything
pedophile.
The player can do, the game feel of the game.
I don't think
bit of
that's subtle.
crafting, kind of general
It's not.
Kind of make the controller disappear.
Holy
if you
shit.
advance while you're playing.
She works
Many
quick.
tools we use, you're helping go ahead and make sure that they're all available for us.
Or the mouse and keyboard.
Yes,
As well.
that's- I'm just sitting there tapping on an empty desk. That's how my Trials teammates feel. So we're talking about the boon system. You obviously had a big hand in this as well. Can you tell us a little bit about what this system is for, and maybe about the boons the players are going to have available?
Yeah, so there are a bunch of boons available. There are the minor boons that you mentioned, and then there's the major boons. So the major boons are more gameplay affecting, and they will do things like, kind of like we saw in the Pale Heart with the Traveler's Blessings, right? Where
Oh,
you
I
pick
forgot
something
about the
up
Traveler's
and
Blessings.
It kind of gives you a new ability almost. One of those in the Pale Heart was Solar Slide, where you run and slide, and a solar wave would go out and blow things up.
Yeah.
Okay.
In this, we have Solar Slide as well, but we also have Stasis Slide, where you run and you slide, and a big stasis wave comes out and makes crystals and
Ooh.
freezes things, and you can blow them up yourself.
That's
and,
sick.
There's stuff
Okay.
that is going to allow you to heal more effectively. There's looks like this one's interesting. Reduces damage per piece of episodic armor worn.
Oh, cool.
It is
so-
quite significant
Okay.
boost as well.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's a bunch, and then finally we have the kind of kiss curse boons, as
Yes.
we call them, but they have an
Okay.
official name. What was that?
Corrupted boons. And
So
yeah,
here we go. We're looking at one right now.
so these corrupted boons are offered at the same time as major boons. As players can
Okay.
only obtain 5 to 6 major boons / corrupted boons per run through. Those are granted to players once randomly at one of the 3 encounters inside of the bubble, and then again at the end of the bubble once they complete it.
134,000 silver.
Allow them to get
What
another
the
one at the start
fuck?
of a bubble or the start of a run through. But these Kiss Curse or corrupted boons, as we call them, essentially give you a great bonus or increase to a specific thing at the cost of a major negative. So one, for example, here that I'm really fond of is Glass Cannon, which increases all damage massively, while also increasing all the damage you take.
Which is also, that's the dev name internally, isn't it?
Yeah, that's the dev name.
So if you don't find one specifically named Glass Cannon, we are obviously, we hang out in our own Word docs and Excel sheets quite a bit. So.
Yeah, that's true. And that one is interesting. It's an interesting choice that you can make since the kind of like the risk to reward ratio, right? Because you have non-regenerating health in here, you really have to come at each encounter with that kind of mindset of health as a resource.
It is.
And make sure that, you know,
I'm
if I take damage from this enemy or that enemy,
program spotted.
it has the potential to stick with me.
Okay,
unless I
so
find a healing source.
Really got the fire team option.
they
too,
said
where
it's like
It is
8 to
every time you're
12
on turn
minutes
with
per
major
bubble.
boons, your teammates can also choose different ones.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh hey,
3
2 of us are gonna do that
bubbles.
glass cannon, or that extra.
Also, that
cannon.
Ford
And
Order
another person
auto
can
has
go, oh, hey,
Circle of
every time
Life
you
to go
finish
along
your
with
things
Run It
with
Over.
volatile around me and I get my grenade change, so I can spam more of those, keep you a bit safer when you get swarmed by things.
These are probably not going to be
It's
craftable
also good to know in
again.
the health regeneration aspect. We have the gameplay and sandboxing.
Probably not.
A lot of the
I
abilities
would
and
love to
weapons that do
craft
field
some of
players,
these
so they're
solely
not
for the way they
extremely
look.
overpowered. So there's been a wide tuning pass on all of this entirely. So you're gonna see when you're trying to heal up your teammate with one of our new support auto rifles. It's gonna take some time, but it does work and it is very efficient and very helpful, especially the ability. So you're definitely going to spec into healing builds.
I have to just give a shout out
Yo.
to the team on like Season of the Deep. We were going deep into the oceans of Titan, and now it feels like we're going deep into space, and like the pressure you can feel it, tentacles taking energy. Like they knocked it out of the park with the vibe here. I'm feeling a little claustrophobic, but also like,
Just getting
you
deep,
feel it.
pulled deeper into the labyrinth, right?
Right?
Yeah, absolutely. So, you know, in
Deeper
addition
into the
to, there's
labyrinth.
obviously modifiers you're going to be facing as a Guardian, as a fire team. There'll be boons available to you, but this episode as well is going to bring with it a bevy of gear between both armor and weapons. Now, obviously, for the keen-eyed Guardians in chat who are watching, there's obviously some seasonal armor, some episodic armor sets that we have here that you can go ahead and check out firsthand. But I think, kind of in the spirit of this activity and build crafting, let's talk about some of the weapons. Actually, there's one here on screen.
Weapons.
Obviously, this is our new support frame auto rifle.
Yeah.
Given that health is such a precious resource in this activity, Eric, can you tell us a little bit about this one?
Yeah, so this is Adamantite. This is our new Strand support auto.
Okay.
And it has some really unique features. One of those is that when I heal enemies, so these support autos, there's 2 of them in the game now. When I hip fire at an ally, it'll send out kind of healing rounds at them, right? And then if I need to, you know, shoot an enemy right next to that ally, I can just ADS and go full offense, right? But the healing from this, because you're shooting out strand rounds, if you heal an ally repeatedly, it'll actually cause them to sprout little unravel seekers, which kind of turns them into this like short-term.
I noticed that,
turret.
Throw your friend as a grenade into the fight, right?
Cover them in Telesto boats, put them in, but now it's like, oh hey, I'm healing you and making you.
Let your
That's
hunter friend
fun.
with the Caliban's Liar's Handshake roll run in there and just keep them alive, right?
Oh my god.
That's why I'm so excited about this activity, because like, you know, we've kind of introduced all these kind of healing things, but in a lot of the game, like I can just hide behind a box and heal, right? And here you can see our health isn't regenerated.
God, I love the look of that auto.
We need to really think about,
Oh, that looks
maybe
so
there's
good.
a dedicated healer on your team. Maybe there's multiple allies using healing rounds.
That's,
right?
is that a stasis one too?
It's kind of transcending now beyond yourself, just to like per activity, per fire team.
Or is that Arc?
So this
I
one's
don't know if that was also
Abyssal
far
Edge.
from the only weapon that's being added
New sword.
around. As far as the episodic weapons, are there any others in particular you want to call out?
There are. I do actually want to talk about this one with one more thing.
Oh,
So
please.
This weapon can roll Slice and Tear, which are 2 perks that sever enemies. It's not often we get a primary legendary weapon that can debuff in multiple
that memento
ways.
is that?
And that's going to play into
That's
things
from
like
Salvation's Edge.
Artifact this season, which we'll talk about a little bit later.
Oh yeah. We'll
Still need to get that.
So there's adamantite, which is
Oh, they still haven't fixed it.
They
and
are.
then let's look at
GG.
Psychopomp. So Psychopomp is our new area denial grenade launcher.
Such a good
Psychopomp?
name.
I love it. Yeah.
It's just
Oh.
Psychopomp.
Okay,
Let's go.
yeah. What's
So
that perk?
Psychopomp,
What's that
so
perk?
these area denial grenade launcher.
Show us the fucking
fantasy of
perk.
these things is
No!
a flamethrower, right? We don't have flamethrowers in the game, but this is as close as you can get to a flamethrower. So I imagine I'm using one every time I use this thing.
Please give us a flamethrower. It'd be so
This
cool.
thing has a really cool new perk on it.
1K voices.
Keys into our new
Yeah.
arc keyword bolt charge.
Final blows
which
grand.
will also
Okay,
come
that's
with
the
it.
new arc perk.
And,
Okay.
Also, it works.
That's
with
that's the one
amplified
that's on the
so
trace
this
rifle
thing,
because trace rifle has a
if you
redacted
are
perk.
arc
No way
crafted
this
this
isn't it.
season, and arc has received a ton of love. This thing is gonna absolutely slay.
Okay, so Arc is going to go
It's,
kind of
it's one we'll
crazy.
definitely get to see our
Willing
fighters
Vessel.
here, but as someone who's been building area denial grenade
Faint
launchers,
targets with this weapon grade.
honestly, the second I learned this was on
And
the
the-
docket, I was so
Okay.
The folks that have been working on
I
these
fuck with
weapons
that.
too,
Yeah.
like the general look of them, it goes along with what you were saying of, oh hey, the Dreadnought's kind of peeling back. If you look at it,
Yeah.
you can see like, oh my gosh,
Yeah.
there's like
the bone.
there's
of the
the
weapon.
core.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, Dylan, while I've got you,
Fuck.
also the previous one on adamantite, that one was
That
an
goes
adept
so
weapon.
hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me pull out my handy dandy notebook.
There we go.
Adept?
Oh, here's the meme.
Screen cap.
Oh yeah, it is.
Yeah.
You can notice
Wait,
that
it's a
for this go.
A
The
Adept
adept
seasonal?
one gets run and
adept
over.
weapons, and these are
Ooh.
we're considering or calling them our heretical arsenal.
Got it.
Heresy, heretical.
Yeah.
Like we're going deep into this.
It's not
theme.
theoretical, it's heretical. Love it.
You can see that it has a new or a different treatment to the colors. It's kind of like the holofoils from Into the Light.
Okay.
Not so
Okay.
much exactly that of hey, it's an ornament, but like this has the base dye and all that, and it looks really good. Shout out to the team. But you can also notice there are multiple perks in each column. There's actually an extra origin trait as well. Shout out Taken King, all that kind of stuff from a raid near you. But there's a very interesting ways of earning these weapons. So you're going to be going into these activities, upping that difficulty. You're going to be exploring the Dreadnought and looking for these. As well with the episodic weapons, there are going to be new fragile mods. So they're called fragile because these will be expiring at the close of the episode.
Okay.
But they're going to give you pretty insane bonuses to your outgoing power. So not necessarily the power of the weapon, but the actual like versatility of it.
Yeah.
One of these,
Interesting.
I have the power of resolve. Rapid hits. They create Taken Seekers. They're really good against champs.
Yeah.
So that's an example. There are going to be a couple at launch, and then more coming with
Taken
each pack. But,
Seekers.
these will be great in Nightfalls. They'll be great in higher content.
Champions in shambles.
Yeah. And then for when you're going in and earning these weapons, there was a ton of feedback, and we absolutely heard you. We're listening about the tonic system. So there are things with like the user experience was a bit rough of having to go back in, create more tonics, trigger them in the middle of activities because they were running out.
Yeah.
The team really took that to heart. They want to make sure that there's agency in how you're earning these weapons. So they're going to be making it through the Tome of Want. You can kind of target these weapons. You don't need to go in and do this a ton of times. You can say, hey, I want to go for this auto rifle. I want to go for this grenade launcher,
Tome of
linear
Want.
fusion rifle, and I really want to be going for that to try to get these heretical versions.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Grenade launcher,
effectively,
linear
I
fusion.
don't want to say more loot. 'Cause
Yeah.
It's not going to be like, oh, hey, you're getting 10 times more.
Yeah.
Yeah, the linear fusion.
Like, oh, hey, I have a goal of getting this
Yeah.
loot, and now I'm going to go and play the game and get what I'm looking for.
I got a Snapchat from
Super
someone.
exciting, honestly. Just having those more opportunities to just break your loadouts out a little bit, find new ways to go ahead and really excel, especially given the challenges we're going to be going up against on the Dreadnought.
And with the fragile mods, like it's baking into that.
I want to
exploration.
see armor.
You were saying, how do you find them again?
Yeah, so they can be found through secrets and chests found in the Nether. They're spread out. They're hidden pretty well, but I imagine folks will find them over time or through some YouTube videos.
Yeah. Rick Cack is here.
We're gonna wait
and-
for. We won't miss it this
There
time.
we go.
Fallout, obviously. If you could make some guides for us, we'd greatly appreciate it. So,
Isword.
Isword, obviously, yes.
Yeah.
One of the best communities out there.
Let's see. Anything else? Yeah, I mean, the last keyword I want to throw on there is aspirational.
Yeah.
Ultimately, we want to have tools that players want to go and find, want to earn, and increase their power.
Yeah. So we've got a couple more weapons I definitely want
Okay.
to talk about because we're reprising some as well. But while we have a brief reprieve from combat, I'd love to actually go ahead. I know you mentioned earlier aspects, Eric.
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and take a look really quickly. We got our friendly neighborhood warlock here up.
Oh, they're
Can you
just
tell us about
showing
what
us what we've
aspects
already
these are gonna have
already
this time
know.
around?
Absolutely. So the Warlock has a new aspect called Ionic Sentry. And Ionic Sentry when you defeat targets with kinetic or arc weapons or arc abilities, you kind of charge this thing that you see in gauge on your screen. Much like Gunpowder Gamble, if you're familiar with that.
Absolutely.
When that's full, it grants you a bonus grenade that you can then throw
Quick
out.
screenshot it,
on
steal his
impact,
build.
Blinds anything nearby, and then spawns this like little arc turret, right? That zaps things, chains to different things.
Yeah.
And every time it zaps something, it accumulates a stack of bolt charge.
Yeah.
So bolt charge is our new arc keyword. And what this does is when you have a stack of bolt charge, any damage you do, it's going to give you additional stacks.
Okay.
Once you hit 10 stacks, your next ability damage is going to create this giant lightning bolt that comes
Once you
out
hit
of
10
nowhere, hits the
stacks,
ground,
you
and just,
win.
like, fries everything
Yeah.
nearby, right? So
Arc
what
DPS
Ionic
is
Sentry
going to
can
be
do is
kind
not
of
only generate
like
the
a
stacks,
thing
but
now,
because it is
for
ability
Warlock
damage
at least.
itself,
Yeah.
it can expend the stacks.
Yeah.
So you send this thing out and it is doing work.
You're throwing a meat grinder at them, basically. Yeah, an arc-flavored
Ooh.
meat grinder. At anyone foolish enough to cross it. But also, I mean, given that's going to be using the new keyword as well. Like, it's not just going to be for mobs of trash. It's like you can throw this down against the big
New
bosses
keyword,
and stuff. You can fly them
EX9.
and do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, this is
Oh,
great against
God.
bosses because any healthy targets, it's going to be continually zapping them, granting you those stacks, and then discharging the stacks as well.
Yeah. All right.
It's like an offensive version of the Stasis Warlock turret too. So it's like, let's say you stack them and you're going into onslaught, so you have your freeze. It's like, I need these enemies to leave me alone.
Yeah.
And you come in and you're like, it's time to, we're gonna boil them, mash them, stick them in a stew, man. They're gone.
Sure, but it also, if
Lord
you
of the
are in
Rings
trouble,
mentioned.
kind of like the stasis thing, like let's hit the pause button. The blinding aspect of this, I can just kind of throw it out and smoke bomb and hide, right? If I need to. Yeah.
All right, so Warlocks obviously have a brand new tool to add to their toolbox, but the other classes do as well. Which one should we show them next?
Let's stick with the arc thing. So let's go to Titan. So Titan, we have Storm's Keep. In this is like a barricade modification. So any barricade you drop, it's going to kind of be electrified. And standing behind this electrified is going to passively accumulate bolt charge on you.
Yeah.
So I drop this on the ground. I start shooting enemies from behind my barricade. Let's say it's a rally barricade, or like
We've been told
we
this.
just
We've
reworked,
been told
Sight
this.
Parts, the barricade you can shoot through.
Oh yeah.
That is going to be kind of building those stacks up and discharging them as I'm firing my weapon.
Okay.
Like I said, bolt charge is usually only ability damage that discharges it.
Yeah.
But as long as I'm standing behind Storm's
And
Keep,
the last one
my
is
weapon damage
Void
is gonna
Hunter.
discharge it as well.
Got it.
So it kind of turns any weapon you want into like a
So then-
Thunderlord.
Not necessarily an arc.
The
weapon,
exotic,
okay.
like the
Sliding
exotic
attack.
armor pieces we
So,
get, because
this
we're probably
one
getting this.
this
I'm
one's spicy.
predicting
I think, we're gonna
Arc
see this,
Warlock,
in a
Arc
lot of
Titan,
damage phases
Void
and,
Hunter.
But
Just
the fact that they buffed
play
like
this all we want,
Geomag and stuff makes me think that they will make a
lot of
new
the articles
arc-related
will be
one
like,
because
yeah,
that'll make people not want to use the like, updated Geomag.
We'll see how we need to tune
Yeah,
this thing.
or maybe
up,
it's like-
it's down. But we want it to be powerful, and I think it is powerful.
There's a lot of
If it's
like, players saw
arc,
this preview in the TWID,
and then maybe
this was last week,
Strand.
and they immediately noticed the animation for the Titan was changed, right? So when you went down and put down the barricade, it was like this big thunderclap, like, hey, I'm gonna charge everybody up, right?
Oh, I didn't
And
notice the
animation went
Titan
through
animation.
a lot of different kind of versions. We put so much love into all of these abilities because it's in the game forever, and we want it to be right. So there were like slams and like raises, and we ended up with a thunderclap, and our animators are godlike. They're absolutely incredible at their jobs.
Yeah.
But then
Shout out
it's
to the
animation,
animators.
It's like the VFX artists have to time everything to the animation, and then the sound design people have to time it to that, and then the test has to make sure we're not breaking anything. It's like so much work goes into even one aspect like this, and we're really excited to put
Okay.
players in.
Yeah, it's a coalescence of art and science that you guys do. That consistently
I do
goes
need a
online.
new
But
good
now we've
Arc
got,
Titan
obviously,
build, so
one more for our friendly neighborhood hunters like myself. as
Best
well.
for last.
This one will be able to
There
get
we
out of
go.
sticky situations as well. So yeah.
So
3 fragment
Arc Trader
slots.
already has for arc aspects, but they needed one in their void slot. So we gave Night Stalker on the prowl, and shout
Ooh,
out to
triple
our boy
perks
Danny
for on the
Manny,
prowl.
who was
Yep.
the designer for this one.
Yeah.
So on the prowl, you kind of become a hit person, right?
Yeah.
And whenever you go invisible, like you get a contract. to
I
kill
guess I'll play
something in
Void
the
Hunter
area.
again.
And that thing is marked, and a little, our target shows up on them for you and your ally. If you successfully
Oh
complete
no,
that
I'll
contract
stay
and
on
mark
Warlock.
that jabroni, right? You
Sorry, jabroni.
No, excellent use of jabroni. Yeah.
Thank you.
Jabroni,
Cannon.
no
Cannon.
fucking way.
So I whack a jabroni, whack a jabron, and then what happens is my entire team
Oh my
gets some
whack a
energy,
jabron.
right? And this is kind of a callback
That
to the
is
Heart of the Pack from the old
so
Night Stalker.
funny.
It originally was actually a callback where we gave you stats, but then because we're reworking the stats coming up, like
A
we
weakening
decided to
cloud.
just give you ability.
Go invisible when you pass
Ability,
through
energy,
it.
And then
This
they
is
the
crazy.
victim, if successfully executed, explodes into a cloud of smoke, which I can then enter.
The
to
victim
become invisible
successfully
again,
executed.
thereby marking
Jesus
Yeah.
Christ.
So I can kind of chain these like
They don't-
assassination.
Guardians don't
moves
fuck
throughout the
around.
story, and my entire team
Straight up.
can be advantaged by.
Oh, nice. So you can bring your fire team through the same
I
cloud of smoke.
guess
smoke,
my
everyone goes
hunter will be
invisible.
void.
So yeah, you're
I
gonna
guess
ultimately-
I'll use Buried
it's on the
Bloodline
prowl,
with it.
prowling through the activity.
You can already see like one
Or
of these
Slayer's Fan
characters
could
on
also
the
go
screen,
hard.
Too. Those creepy eyes freak me out every time. But on the Oculus, like that's going to benefit the smoke and all that kind of stuff. You could pair with Lawrence Driver. Sorry, Ritz on social media asking for some gameplay today, but we have too much to go through.
Yeah.
But it's like you're embodying that I'm a bounty hunter fantasy. So your gun can be giving you bounties through Lawrence Driver. You're getting bounties through this. There's going to be a lot of combinations in build crafting.
Oh, gosh.
You had mentioned too, Guizen, right?
Yeah, Guizen. I always call it Guizen,
Yeah.
but Guizen Vest.
He
got a rework.
is
So when you
Guizen, baby
exit
girl.
invisibility,
Fuck!
It emits a weakening cloud of smoke, and then some super energy perks as well. So
Nice.
there's going to be a lot of strong pairings, and then with the artifact, Void features in the artifact pretty heavily too.
You know what? Honestly, you just gave me the best segue I could possibly imagine. We
Void
have
features in the
obviously,
artifact
we've
pretty
begun
heavily.
to scratch the surface of some of the new build crafting opportunities you're all
Okay.
going to have. But
So it's an
obviously,
Arc
we
Void
got a new
artifact.
as well this episode. We've got the
Yo.
Dark Ruin, which seemed aptly named. Now, just as
Yo.
the general theme.
Yo, the fucking
Yeah, so the
whoa.
theme of this
Okay.
It has to be a
episode's
taken
artifact
subclass.
is kind of subjugation and bending
Glaives.
enemies to your will.
Yeah.
Essentially,
God.
as we are going back into the Dreadnought, it was unlikely that the Dread or the Hive were going to come peacefully, so we got to bring the big guns to.
Let's see,
to
Fusion
force
Linears is
their
at the
hand,
very top right
essentially.
there.
It's not about
Machine
us winning, it's about
gun,
them losing.
sidearm,
Yes.
sniper,
Yeah, so the
glaive.
Tower of Ruin is there to ruin their day. essentially.
Destabilizing rounds.
But yeah, so I'll call out some highlights of mine from here. If we look at column 5, because column 5,
Column 5's a strong one.
that's where
Yeah, we got to go
heavy
right
hitters,
to the chase.
Okay.
We have Void. Which one is it? It's called Void Flux. That's it. Void Flux. So defeating weakened targets with a Void
Ooh.
weapon applies
Ooh.
volatile to nearby targets, and then you pair that with the column 4.
So it's just destabilizing
Lion
rounds,
Harvest,
but
and
not.
rapidly applying volatile causes your next instance of Void weapon.
Fuck! Void Hunter's gonna go
Holy shit.
crazy.
Back into the other one, and it's like
Void
if you
Warlock's
can-
gonna go
if you
insane
can get
too.
this,
Wait,
this engine
collective
going,
obligation is
in a
actually
crowded
usable.
Room, it's nasty.
Me and my fellow fighting
My
Lion,
Titan has a
addicts
collective
are gonna have
build.
a really good time. That's one I can already tell. The Fighting Lion subreddit, I want to see some clips.
The
And then
Fighting
I also
Lion
wanna call out-
subreddit.
Lion.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
So Horde Shuttle damaging unraveled targets with a weapon occasionally spawns a threadling.
Ooh.
This is really good.
Oh.
Building up Spindle.
Oh, and it has
Especially against
boosts from like
high
potions.
health targets.
Yeah.
Yo!
Unravel them, they stay unraveled. I keep
Oh
shooting
my
them, they're just
gosh.
Popping threadlings out, left and right.
Also,
And then
third column
because we talked
top,
about arc,
machine guns and
flashover
glaives?
in column 4.
Yeah.
When you gain a maximum stat or bolt charge,
Okay.
you
Yo,
also become
okay.
amplified.
Also, straight up
Amplified
fucking
Alright.
Taken
is
King
getting
in
a
the
big
dead
kind of
center
buff
there.
this
Yeah, yeah.
Like,
episode is
I want to know what that is so
to its,
badly.
to its survivability. So
Yeah.
really, arc in general.
If it gives a
is-
buff to Runneth over
it's hot.
Zhali's
It's gonna be hot.
Defiance of
Spicy
Yasmin.
dark builds this time around. I
Rock 'em,
can't wait.
shock 'em, baby.
Yeah, there you
Go.
go.
If if Runneth Over gets a boost,
yeah,
Defiance of
Dylan,
Yasmin's
can you
going to
walk
go
us through
crazy
some of
with
the
Darcy.
stuff in the first column as well? We're gonna have
Oh yeah.
some new champion rather mods to take care of.
Yeah, so I mean, like, there's all these really ability-focused items, which is great because there are a bunch of anti-champion keywords in there as well.
Yeah.
But let's
Unstoppable
say, like, hey, we're
glaives,
going in, we're doing
Christ.
Nightfall.
Please.
You can see actually there's anti-barrier sidearm for the first time in years. Like, I think that was around for one of the first Grandmaster rotations, and it was like, what sidearm?
Right. Dust
Now
off
we-
the call.
Yo,
Now we have
rocket sidearms.
We have Forerunner, so you can be like
Rocket
tossing
sidearms,
Yo.
anti-barrier.
grenades, that
Fuck.
kind of stuff. Anti-barrier sniper, that was a favorite from the past. We just did a big rework on glaives. The team did a crack job on there, so
Glaives,
unstoppable there.
please.
And then up at the top you can
Please.
see machine guns, and then linear fusion rifles, and fusion rifles are getting the unstoppable. And then in fifth column, you'll see a perk that players may enjoy of
It's
particle
back.
It's back.
reconstruction.
I'm so excited. I mean, I just got
Particle
my hands on the
reconstruction!
next class
Let's
Oh!
go.
after all this time, honestly. So I have a hunch I'm going to be putting those.
Euphony's
Oh,
going
fuck.
crazy for DPS.
Oh yeah.
Holy shit.
What about you?
Euphony's.
I didn't even get it in D1, so it was like such a moment for me. It was like a
Oh my
decade of
gosh.
shooting, right? Yeah.
I think there's a reason to go back into Vault of Glass, and maybe we can help him get his.
I'm down. I
That's a
played.
good point.
Yeah, it's crazy. Like
Oh,
some,
Vex
some
Mythic Glass,
raids
that's funny.
I played 5 times and have like 5 of the raid exotics.
Wait,
right? And
they
that's
said
all
reason to go
Yeah,
back
we're
into the
usually
Vault
on
of
the
Glass.
first run.
I
I mean, that's
usually
good.
am,
Vex
but
Mythic
not
Last.
with Vault for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah, but
Yes,
Noguchi
but
out
that
there,
could
you
also mean
go
other
Salmon,
updates.
right?
I'm seeing if that was a segue or
So
not.
go back to Vault, you were saying.
Vault of Glass. So there are a bunch of folks where, they want crafting back. They want to do something where they have an end goal. And Vault of Glass is a great opportunity for us to
Told you.
say, hey, you've been going through Heresy content. You want to do some raids. You want to do something else. Like, we're
Multiple
adding
Vogue
weapons to
weapons.
Strikes, Gambit, Crucible. We have a bunch of new weapons and trials and new stuff in trials that you've seen.
There it is,
The
Fatebringer.
Vault of Glass is getting crafting. Chat
Also,
goes
what was
wild.
that-
You can
Hobby.
go get that
What was that
Fatebringer,
kinetic
get it
exotic?
a couple times as a deep sight, craft it, and then you can
I
make
don't
that roll that you've always wanted.
Yep.
As you're going through Vault,
What's that?
let's
Final
say you
boss
wanna go
upgrades
through and,
bonus super
craft
energy.
like
When your
5
super expires,
of
it's
the weapons that are
size
available.
double.
Then you can hop into Master with all your spoils.
Doubled?
Or those Adept versions, and those have a chance to drop with multiple or more perks in those columns.
Oh, that?
We've been doing this for the last.
Peasant's
Oh
Vengeance.
god, we have to do Adept again.
Now it's
Yeah,
like, hey, I want my
holy
he's-
shit.
He's in Vengeance.
Overflow
There's a new,
bipod, double the reserves.
intrinsic
Yo.
version, which the
Ah.
trade.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, let's say I'm trying to go for a combination. I could get 3 on this, and then I can enhance it, make it this crazy rocket launcher that's good, and,
Yeah.
and
Oh my
go in
God.
and do some really cool stuff.
Yep. Yeah. So we've got another weapons. I know I mentioned some reprised ones, but actually, as long as we're hanging out here in the menus, Eric, I'd actually love to put you on the spot again and talk about just some of the exotics that players are going to be able to
Yes!
go ahead and
Exotics,
acquire
please.
in this episode as well. Let's start wherever you'd like to. Which one would you like to kick it off with?
Let's look at Barrow Dyad.
Barrow Dyad. I was looking at that.
So Barrow Dyad is a
Is that a gun?
Is that a gun?
What the fuck?
It's hybrid gun for
Our,
sort of.
our team does not mess around, man.
This is so fucking
so this thing
clean.
is a strand submachine gun, and it is also a monster in combat. So this thing, as I deal
SMG.
damage with it, it generates this resource. called
This looks
light.
like a weapon of
And
sorrow.
Next time I reload,
yeah, it
whether it's
does.
manual or I just run out of my mag, it's going to convert that blight into these strand seekers. That next time I, pull
That's the
trigger,
intro
it's gonna
to-
fire those out, and they're gonna bounce between enemies.
Here we
Yeah,
go.
'cause
Yep,
you could
so we have
visit
some
here in the
gameplay of this
Dreadnought.
now.
Yeah.
So, but you can also see it.
Could you hit?
Everything?
The Grim is a paid actor, obviously.
Chris,
No.
You can also see that this thing auto reloads over
Wait.
time. So this
I
thing,
saw the new arc
Lumarez,
trace, yay.
Partially sentient.
Yeah.
It has its own wants and
It
needs.
wants to kill.
Yes.
Yeah.
And if
It's
and
a
if you
weapon of
satisfy it, it's gonna
sorrow.
reward you.
Yeah.
But,
Who made it?
So look how fast that ammo comes back. So what you can actually do is play this mini game where you are trying to shoot enemies.
Yeah,
to
that's
build up
actually
that
good.
blight. And then
Oh my God.
you can pace yourself to auto reload to build up more blight, and
Yeah.
then manually reload to load all those seekers into your mag. In addition, it has this perk where dealing damage to 3 different enemies generates in a short period of time.
Yeah.
Generates a large amount of blight.
Very nice.
So-
Okay,
Oh my
so
God,
Equal
please.
opportunities to go ahead and clear out crowds,
Please.
but also to just burn down the big bad that might be standing in front of you, or whichever one's
Please,
foolish
I
enough
want
to
this
do
so badly.
There are going to be
Yeah.
player questions immediately of when you're talking about blight and those sorts of keywords. Is this weapon of sorrow?
That's a great question. It is not a weapon of sorrow.
Fuck.
But, you know, I heard another rumor that this thing is a kind of fossilized precursor to a weapon of sorrow.
Oh?
But I can't, confirm.
Redacted.
This, yeah.
Wait,
One
is
of
this
our
the
top 3
fossilized
favorite words,
Triga?
redacted. Okay, so this is the one, and we won't spoil how, but players will be earning this one this season. It'll have, catalysts and other intrinsics to earn as well, I assume.
Catalysts?
This thing has a lot of surprises. I don't know where.
You can leave it there.
Let's just leave it.
I like that. Okay. All right. So obviously, the Barodyad will be one that will be getting added to a lot of loadouts across the entire Sol system. But that's not the only one we're going to be taking a look at today.
The rabbit.
Let's also look at our new exotic trace rifle Lodestar.
Yo!
This one will be given to players via the season pass. This is the first primary
Season
ammo
pass.
trace
Okay, good. I
rifle
don't have to grind this.
Nope.
So cool.
And
So excited.
Wait, primary ammo?
Fire. This thing behaves like
Excuse me?
the trace rifle you know and love. But when you ADS with it, it's closer to a pulse rifle actually.
Okay.
When you ADS, your standard pulse rifle has this kind of cadence where it's prop, prop, prop. There's like these kind of spaces in between the rounds coming out. But this thing is more the steady, EDM beat.
Here we go. Yeah, so players are seeing it now. Yeah.
Yeah, we're womp, 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 womp.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's
Okay.
like,
Oh,
it's nonstop until you run out of
interesting.
ammo, right?
So we got
Yeah.
burst sidearms, burst hand cannons, your pulse rifles, and now we got a burst trace rifle. I love this kind of stuff.
That's really funny.
Yeah, so outside of this unique
Oh
firing
my
behavior,
god.
as I deal damage with it, you can see down in the bottom left corner we have arc alignment. And what that's doing is charging the coils of the weapon. Once it's fully charged, if I press and hold to auto reload, or sorry, special reload.
Oh, right.
As I hip fire, I jolt anything I hit.
Yeah.
So the jolt is a
Okay.
debuff, right? So you can kind of
Okay, that's what that was.
charge this thing up, auto reload to go into the other fire mode, and then kind of sweep the beam across a bunch of enemies, jolt them all, and then.
I don't know how I feel about it over Cold Heart.
And then the final perk this thing has is when ADS, any time you defeat a arc debuffed enemy, they explode into a blinding explosion.
Okay.
So it's this loop where I can charge it up, I jolt enemies.
Okay, okay, never mind.
Defeat the jolted enemies with the ADS shot, which explodes and damages more enemies, which charges it up.
It's
The
interesting.
loop continues.
I'm gonna have to make a
this thing
build
has, like,
around
a really
it.
high skill ceiling.
And this is just this one weapons loop. There's obviously all the different artifact mods. There's all the new aspects. There's the new gear we're going to have available to us through the Dreadnought. Theory crafters, update your spreadsheets. The time has begun.
You can. There's some big brain combos you can pull off.
Yeah, and I will be counting on stealing all of them. All right, so we also, really quickly before we move on, we
Based.
have some new armor as well with Trials. Dylan, can you briefly tell us a little bit as well about the new updates to Trials and the new armor?
For sure, yeah. So
Let's
I mean,
go over
we'll
this.
still have Heresy gameplay on here, but as I was saying, like once you're kind of like, oh hey, I've been playing that for a bit, I want to go play my core rituals like Nightfalls, Crucible, that kind of stuff. If I want the endgame PvP experience, Trials is getting kind of a rework. It's mostly focused around the Lighthouse experience. So the main goal, big shout out to Mercules on the team that's been working on this for a while, and then Test and everybody too. But
Mercules?
what is the Trials experience when it's not flawless
That's so
or bust?
funny.
Right.
What is something where, as a lesser skilled player, somebody that just wants to go in and play some like elimination, get in, get some rewards, and then also visit the Lighthouse and see our friend Saint. So ultimately, it's framed more around streaks. So you don't need that flawless 7 games in a row ticket to go up to the Lighthouse. Now it's more, oh hey, I won 2 games in a row, lost a couple, but ultimately got 7 over time. Now I can go to the Lighthouse, open that chest, and then get some cool rewards. So we had a big, an emphasis on big article go out about Crucible. There's some comp changes, there's a bunch of matchmaking stuff, but also Trials is our main game, or main focus for that. And you can see the armor that you get on there. You'll be getting these pieces
that armor
once
looks
a
good.
week or a couple times a week through
I
challenges.
am a fan
or
of that
opening the
armor.
chest. But we're going to that kind of Osirian, that Egyptian theme again, and these take
Oh my
shade is
gosh.
great. It's one of those pieces where, okay, I'm Gonna be spending a couple weeks in here to fizzle. Oh my gosh,
I kind of
don't
want to
care
grind
to teach
trials
me.
for this.
But, yeah, even
Just
if
don't
you're-
go up against me while you're out there. If you could do me a solid.
Yeah, even if you're not high skill, it's like you can earn.
That's
these honor keys.
default shader
Cool
too.
cosmetic bit is like, oh hey, as a high skill player, I still want that representation of what flawless used to encapsulate. So if you hit a 5, a 6, a 7 win streak and go open that chest, you're unlocking different glows. You're getting different cosmetics like ships, ghosts, the sparrow,
Or a farming time.
right?
That's right.
And then afterwards, how long of a streak can you go on? We're gonna have a new emblem tracker where it's like, oh man, I went on a 25 win streak in trials. I'm kind of hot right now.
Damn.
And then you have
Andy never.
Yeah, Andy saying, "Hey Dylan, you want to play Discord?" And I'm like, "Sorry, I'm a bit too busy."
It's all right. We get it. You're a big deal. But
I'm not a
no,
big
thank you, honestly, in the interest of being busy. Thank you and yours, obviously, putting together that article. If anyone wants to see all
These
of
people
that,
are great.
in detail, it took a village.
I love
so
'em.
Dylan, to you and the PvP Strike team and everyone, thank you a ton for getting a lot of information together.
God, that armor is
I know
so
we have one more
good.
topic to move on to, but I'm realizing in my notes I didn't quite get to speak to the reprised weapons. Let's call out a couple before we move on. There's one in particular I'm actually pretty excited about. It's the return of probably one of my favorite pulse rifles. I've been watching a lot of TikTok. Our friend Epic Defender out there is running Fighting Lion and pardon me, Cold Denial. So I've gone ahead and personally dusted off my Cold Denial, which is now also making a return. So if you don't still have it from Season of Arrivals, now's your chance. Dylan, we were talking about this a little bit earlier. What's your favorite role?
Looks like a
Well,
trace
so
rifle,
back in the
even though
day,
it's a
I always
pulse.
made sure to have a head seeker, and it was kind of a niche perk back then. It was like, oh hey,
Eric
it's
also
just one on one
fluid.
bit.
Right.
But it has been buffed over time. It's been a
okay.
while since Season of Arrivals, so
Handling
I'm
mobility
gonna be
when
going for head
damaging
seeker again on this
targets.
baby, and like. One of the cool things is that all the
That's
reprisals
mostly
are
like
gonna
a
be dropping day
PvP
one
perk.
Act 1. So you
Yeah.
can go and get this. There were a few others that were mentioned, or I believe you're about to
Okay,
mention.
that's nice.
Another one. Yes, that's right. We can honestly, I can talk about. Or wait, my favorite role of the next weapon.
I don't care about your favorite role.
Okay. What
What is your favorite
alone.
role? We debated this.
Well, there's
Come on.
all right. It's very close. It's Zen Moment Head Seeker, but
Okay. No, that's good.
It's just a two-burst machine. But another one I want to call out, one that's so well beloved by the community that a member, a content creator in our community, named themselves after it. Whispering Slab Enjoyer. Whispering Slab is now also getting reprised as well.
Okay.
So there's going to be a lot of opportunities for y'all to go ahead and add this one back into your inventory. Is there going to be any new roles added for this one as well, Dylan? Anything exciting?
Yeah, I mean, all of the weapon rolls, they're going to be a bit revamped. There will be some heavy hitters from the past, but also new perks have been introduced over time.
Yeah.
Pugilist
for
opening
the
shot?
seasonal weapons too. I believe it was Morgan
Opening
Dickens,
shot on a
like,
bow?
Working with her to see what are all the different roles.
I think
what
that's
can we call it on the
existed.
stream.
I
She put a lot of love
guess.
into those. Big shout out to the rest of the team as well. Like, I wish I could name every single person, but as you said, it takes a village, it takes a city to build
Let me
a
check
game.
light.gg.
So big love for everybody.
Yeah, we're just the ones sitting up here today. There's obviously a ton of incredible peers of ours here at Bungie that are behind the scenes building all of
Oh
this
yeah,
stuff
it's
today.
already
So
on
to our
non-denouement.
teammates and compatriots at Bungie, we
And
couldn't
under
do
your
it. Thank you so
skin.
much.
I guess.
Are there any weapons?
I need to-
And Tripwire Canary.
Quickly check.
Oh, I'm looking forward to all the
I need to
dreadnought weapons.
craft
They look so
or I
good.
have it
Some of
crafted. I
this
need to
base support
level it
framework,
up and
so
use it.
I'll be rocking that through
Good bow.
my run throughs the Nether, just like watching.
It's also on
like,
Hush,
through
Trias, and
the final
X4.
level there.
It's been on a lot of bows.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'll be rocking that, healing my teammates.
you're a better man than I am.
Yeah.
But we can do that, obviously.
I will be getting that
Eric, anyone last one that you
support
wanna
auto
call out?
frame.
Move on?
That Whispering Slab is just so sexy, man.
Isn't it?
Like,
Honestly, what a
just like
distinctive bow. Like, how do you?
It
not
is.
love it?
It's just like a big flat thing with a string. It's
Yeah.
like, I don't know.
You know it means pain when you see it. Honestly,
true.
Yeah, absolutely.
Big flat thing with the string. Hey yo.
Hit people with it.
Dealer's choice. Honestly. Depends whether or not you're a Titan.
TMG.
All right, so we obviously have talked through a lot of stuff today, but there is plenty more for you to go ahead and dive into when Heresy launches next week on February 4th.
Oh, God,
But before we
please.
go ahead and obviously conclude the show, we've got a couple more announcements to talk through, including our next dungeon race. Dylan, this is something you and your compatriots on the community team have told us all about in past blogs and stuff, but a quick recap for anyone out there. Can you tell us a little bit about the Sunder Doctrine race?
Yeah, so Sunder Doctrine, that's going to be launching on February 7th at Reset.
Okay.
We're going to do the contest mode as well. Some people call it a race to the top.
Yeah.
So with our last dungeon, we had a podium finish where it was the first 3 fire teams are winners for second, third. This time we're going back to that format of a singular fire team will be crowned. They will be that first to cross the finish line. The really cool thing about this as well is we're kind of mixing up what is the stake, what is the reward.
Yeah.
Last dungeon we did a really cool hoodie with some personalization. this time around we're doing a trophy. It's going to be nice little trophy. It's not not as big as say the raid title belts that you get, but it's going to be something that's very special, customized, like unique to this experience.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Joe, to the Raid and Dungeon team, and then also let's see here.
Check the
Mention
notebook.
Scrap. We're going to be partnering with them to create this trophy, and we'll have a picture of it in a TWID next week, or maybe even later this week.
Yeah.
But
Okay.
yeah, it's going to be something that represents this dungeon, and it's going to be pretty fun.
That's super exciting.
So-
And also, our friends on the Good Super Products team have been hard at work making sure that all of us that dive in, because I've never done a contest mode in my life, I'm not brave enough. There is some stuff to go ahead for the Guardians to go ahead and earn as well. Dylan, can you tell us a little bit about what we're seeing into?
Sure. Yeah. So on
And
the
look at
screen,
that
this is gonna be
seal, it's-
earnable just by
it's the
playing
worm.
through.
Yeah.
We have a new. I love this note sheet, man.
That's so
work shirt.
gorgeous.
So
Work shirt.
It has a hood, but it's not the hoodies of old. This
Yeah.
is going to be a new thing. A work shirt that you can earn. The
Look at the
wristband
background.
was a pretty big winner for players
Yeah.
that enjoyed earning that last.
I mean,
year.
that
It's
just
gonna
looks like
have that
first
again.
encounter.
And then we also
Yeah.
have our Bungie rewards, the title pin. So go in.
It
do all
looks
the
like first
challenges, the
encounter. It's
triumphs,
definitely
I
different.
believe solo as well, which I applaud everybody that does solo dungeons because it's just insane to me.
Yeah.
But you can earn these this pin to represent how hardcore you are.
Yeah.
And then we have
Oh
just
my
general
gosh.
dungeon rewards that you can get as well.
Very cool.
So, and this
mortals
is
like
out-
I can go ahead and get my hands on something as well, right?
True.
It's like,
And then these are outside of like contest mode. So contest mode, you get that unique emblem in game. With normal mode, there will be an emblem. There will be those rewards, weapons, etc.
Certainly.
But then some things out of game as well. So
Awesome.
to get into the contest mode, 1995 is the recommended power.
Okay.
Outside of that, it's like if contest isn't your thing, once that fire team finishes first, then we open up normal mode afterwards. So
Okay.
But either way, contests will be available for that first 48 hours.
first 48 hours
Cool.
too. And then if you want to join in with the community and have a watching experience, we have the Dungeon Zone hosted by CB Gray and Evan F.
Couple of legends.
Yeah, big thank you to them because this is going to be a community-driven kind of like, hey, they're tracking a ton of teams that are vying for that first place.
Yeah.
They're going to be hopping through that. They'll have some pre-show stuff that's really fun to watch. We'll also have Twitch drops. We'll have unique emblems to earn through that. So yeah, tons of folks to watch, and then tons of gameplay to jump into on the 7th.
That rules. I can't wait. Excellent. Well, everyone as well, if they need to find this was in a previous TWID as well.
Yeah, so we have a previous TWID. We're going to have another TWID just before the 7th to walk through this again. And then we also have like the terms and conditions for the dungeon race and all that. That's on help.bungie.net. So.
Excellent. Very cool. All right,
Okay.
excited. Can't wait to tune in. CB Gray, Evan F. Can't wait to go ahead and see what you got in store for us.
I'm so excited for the
But,
day one dungeon.
now we have
Same
one more
here.
item to speak about. As has become tradition in these streams, we've got
Okay.
one more thing to go ahead and show you. Now it's time to take a first look at the newest collaboration that's going to be coming to Destiny 2, and this one is joining us from a galaxy far, far away. Chat, I'm gonna keep an eye on it, but that's right. Our next collaboration is inspired by a universe that's loved by so many of us here at the studio. Star Wars. Now, today we're going to be taking a look at the new Star Wars-inspired armor sets that are going to be joining Destiny.
No
and I say there's no time quite like the
fucking
present.
way.
First up, we've got the Covert Ranger set for Hunters. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at that one.
No
This one
fucking
is
way.
inspired, by none other than the Elite Death Troopers. Oh my god, I can't wait.
Such a beautiful cape.
Seriously.
Hunters are never going to need to use Super Black again. Are you kidding me?
Don't
I'm gonna
tempt
put
us,
it with
we'll
the
find a way.
clan chat. It's not
Yes,
spoilers
this
enough.
one, and as are the other ones you're going to
Please.
see are obviously all going to be arriving on day one of Heresy. Up
This
next,
is
Warlocks,
so
Marina, we've got you
good.
covered as well. We've got the Royal Commander set for you guys, and this time it's inspired by the Imperial Royal Guards. If you've ever found yourself in a throne room in the Star Wars universe, you've probably been intimidated by these guys. Now's your
This
chance to go ahead and
is
do the
so
same intimidation when you load into
fucking
trials or anything like
cool.
that. This one is obscenely cool. And then last, but very not
The-
least,
the
we've
Titan.
got the Shock Enforcer set
Bring
for
us-
Titans. This one is inspired by the classic Stormtroopers.
Yeah, and this one actually
This is
comes with
so good.
With an intrinsic perk that tanks your accuracy.
This is yeah, so
Pretty cool.
it's all right. They're Titans.
Or,
They're just gonna go ahead and punch you anyway. Honestly,
Beast.
We'll check on that intrinsic perk. But yes, this one obviously to the classic Stormtroopers out there, the fans of those Titans, you are gonna go ahead and be set.
That
You
mark
can
is
go
going
ahead
to be
and
used
don
outside of this just because it's a
now,
nice little
obviously,
holster.
There's going to be some
It
stuff that will
has to.
transcend across all of the different classes, including a new ghost shell that we'd love to go.
That
ahead and show
that
you as
ghost
well.
shell.
We
Please.
now have.
Please.
Let's go ahead and take a look.
Oh,
This is the DS2 Ghost Shell.
This
Operational,
is
but it's inspired
so
by none other
Oh my
than the Return of the Jedi.
it
Death
fucking
Star.
fires! Look at
It's
that!
a bit of a work in progress, but who among us isn't?
So good, man. I love the effect that comes out of the front.
I know it never.
Look
I
at
remember
that.
The first time I saw it, like I quietly lost myself honestly in a meeting. Thankfully, it was muted on Teams.
Oh my
but yeah, this
God.
one has been super exciting. Now, there's
Fire,
also
fire
more
again,
as a part
let's
of this
go.
collaboration for you to explore. So worry not. There's also a sparrow, a ship, emotes, and a finisher.
Oh
all
my
for you to check
God.
out when Heresy launches.
I'm getting all of
but
them.
Of course, we'd be remiss if we didn't take a chance, for starters, to give huge thanks to our friends here at Bungie that helped put this together.
Oh my
Kelly
God.
on the marketing team, and then our friends over at Lucasfilm Games.
Oh
It's
my
been
God, oh
incredible
my
to go
God,
ahead
oh
and
my
work with you
God.
side by side to put this together. And of course, to make sure you're all in the know, and we give you a heads up of exactly where this is going to be. This
Oh
will
my
not
God.
be at Tashi Station with the power converters. These will be available on Eververse when Heresy launches on day one. So just want to make sure you're all aware
That's
of
good.
that.
That's
and,
so good.
Also, I gotta say, I for one am going to be keeping a close eye on the R Destiny fashion subreddit because I can't wait to see what they got for us after this.
I mean, they're gonna have this. They're gonna have new Trials armor, new seasonal or episodic armor.
Yeah.
They're gonna have tons of new Eververse options, but tons of new options you earn in the game. Put it all together, make something dope.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Very
Please.
exciting. Well, I think honestly we've had a huge docket of things to go ahead and go on through, but now we can all collectively exhale and leave a little bit more for the Guardians at home to discover when Heresy launches next week. But that concludes it for our show
Please,
today.
I need that
So
Star Wars
first things
armor
first, obviously,
right now.
Guardians, to all of you out there,
It's
even
so
to the
good.
individual spamming my face as an emote in chat. Thank you all so much for joining us today. These shows are a ton of fun for us to get to put on. We
He
love to
noticed.
share what we've been working
Please.
on with all of you. But it doesn't matter unless you show up. So genuinely, thank you all for taking the time to join us today.
Oh.
Obviously, to our fire team in the back of the house, to my compatriot in social media, Mitch, to Ashley, to Peyton. They're the ones really driving this stream. We just get to talk about what's on stream. So thank you for going ahead and lending us your talents.
Oh my God.
Obviously,
Oh my
to our
God,
friends
oh my God,
here
oh my
on the
God.
couch as well. Nico, who is somewhere around here. Obviously, Nico, thank you for joining us. Eric, Ryan, Dylan, thank you guys. We appreciate you taking the time to join us today.
Oh my God,
To the
this is
crew
gonna be
here as
so
well.
hyped.
Again,
It's
you have
gonna
the
be
challenge
so
of dealing with me, so
I'm-
thank you all so much for your hard work. We
I'm
seriously
gonna be
appreciate
an ARC
it. As a quick
clone
reminder to
trooper
close things
titan.
up, Heresy Act 1 launches just next week on February 4th. So go ahead, make sure you've got that day off. I don't, but I'll be cheering for all of you that do. So you can check out the Nether, all of the new gear and weapons that you're going to be able to have available to you. Start checking out how to get your hands on those exotics and
The
building
Nether.
them all up.
Check out the Nether.
Collaboration
It's
with
so
Lucasfilm
funny
Games,
that it's called the
Star
Nether.
Wars is pretty exciting. And of course, the Sundered Doctrine Dungeon race will be there as well. But that's right. So now we're going to go ahead and get ready to close things out. But
Okay, so
before
we still don't know what the
we're gonna leave
exotic is.
the stream live for just a little bit longer. So if you
Nope.
need to go ahead and wrap up that Twitch
There's a
drop,
part of me
you can do
that,
so. And go ahead and do us a favor and stick around because once we finish up
It's
here,
not gonna be
we're
the
gonna raid
SMG
our
that
good
they
friend
showed.
Mactix. So while I
No.
appreciate the bits and
No.
cheers and everything here in chat, save your Twitch Prime sub, save everything you can. Go over to him, give him a follow, donate to the Game to Give stuff, pardon me, if you can, to help us do some good to the Bungie Foundation. But that's it.
That
So
Star
for
Wars
now,
armor.
Thank you all so much again for joining us.
It's
But
so
in the meantime,
sick.
take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we'll see you all Star Side.
That is so clean.
I want to. Once that trace rifle is out, I'm gonna make a build before the day one. Like, I'm interested in seeing how it plays.
I am probably going to prepare Void Hunter as well as my usual Warlock shenanigans for the day one, solely because Void Hunter looks dope as hell there.
Yeah, like, I have all of my normal stuff prepared. This is just like additional thing to be like, maybe it'll actually do something. I don't know.
And there's the Skorgan emote, alright. Or emblem. Well, I'm gonna end the recording and just straight upload this to YouTube, so
Valid.
deuces.